To members of the class of 2020, your parents, and my dear colleagues on the prep faculty and staff, welcome to this brief commencement video. While it is very sad to stand alone in the upper school quad when it should be filled with many hundreds of your friends, family, and mentors to celebrate you graduates, I am grateful to have shared so many important moments with each of you across your respective journeys through prep. I'm going to speak for just a few minutes, and then you'll hear from class speakers Sydney Manningham and Valedictorian Ryan LaRusso. So on a mountain bike ride, very early in my time here in Santa Fe, so maybe 20 years ago, I joined two far stronger and more experienced riders. We came upon a technical climb that they both navigated successfully and then sat their bikes at the top to see how I would do. There was only one narrow route up with trouble on either side. I kept my eye on the trouble and went down pretty quickly, still clipped into my pedals. He went right where he was looking. I heard one of the guys say, not quite quietly enough to the other. Mountain biking is an imperfect metaphor for our path through life, but my friend's line is not. Trouble is all around us, more so these days than at any time in my life. You need to engage with the dangerous uncertainty of COVID-19, the urgency to confront more directly systemic racial injustice, and the existential threat of climate change. You have been a class of activists, and I am confident you will keep your focus and your eyes on the passage through. Finally, I want to recognize this year's winner of the Shelton Whitehill Award for Teaching Excellence, something we do at commencement each year. Created in 2006 to honor now retired science teachers Jay Shelton and Greg Whitehill, the award goes to a teacher selected by me with significant input from the senior class, the faculty, and senior administrators. The award specifically recognizes inspiring and outstanding teaching and includes a grant of $10,000 from an anonymous donor. This year, I'm thrilled to award the Shelton Whitehill grant to, drumroll please, Dan Murray. Unfortunately, Dan could not be here today.
Hey, Jim, I am here.
Dan?
I made it. Yeah.
Oh man, great to see you. Congratulations. Dan joined the prep faculty in 2004 and has been a stellar teacher of 8th grade global studies, a hallmark class for so many prep grads. Dan's abiding interest in cultures around the world has made him the perfect sponsor for Model UN and led him and Kim to live with their family for a year in Honduras in 2013. His prior experience in theater made Dan a perfect fit to teach an upper school stagecraft class for several years. More recently, Dan has taught in the history in the upper school as well, including a wildly popular Latin American studies class this spring to a number of the graduating seniors. Dan, for your range, passion, commitment to professional growth, and inspiring and outstanding teaching, I'm thrilled to present you with the Shelton Whitehill Award this year.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Thank you. And to you all, thank you. I wish you the very, very best. Please welcome your classmate, Sydney Manningham.
Talking to a camera in an empty quad and watching a series of speeches on a screen is not what we are all expecting for today. But it is also what we must do for the health of our city, state, and country. Before I begin sharing what I came here to read, I want to preface a few things, because a lot has changed in the past few weeks. With the important conversations our country is finally having about police brutality, Black Lives Matter, sexual assault, abolishing ICE, and much more, I feel honored to spend this afternoon addressing and celebrating a class of young activists who have been continuing to use their voice to make a difference. You all continue to amaze me, even from afar. Now, take a quick moment to pause here and put on a white dress or a buttoned-up shirt or grab your favorite treat, anything to make today special and to celebrate yourself, because we all deserve to feel celebrated for our incredible accomplishments as students. There are two types of people in life: the ones who wanted to wear red pennies in middle school and the ones who didn't. Try and imagine us gathered in the library parking lot, anticipating the start of the game. Dave or Renee or Larry gives the non-penny wearers a 10-second head start. And that's when you start your wild run up Sally's Hill. It's likely that you will scrape your leg on a juniper branch or barely avoid stepping on a cactus. You'll probably get chamisa in your hair, but you weren't paying attention enough either way to notice. You aren't paying attention to looking your best or which direction you are running in. Your only goal, a quite simple one, is to be the last one standing, the last horse caught by the red penny-wearing wranglers in the timeless and chaotic game of wild horses. In middle school, wild horses was our purest form of play, a time when what mattered next mattered less than laughter, a time when the future was not to be stressed over, and a time when freedom meant being out of breath while stumbling through the trees above everyone else on campus. I keep a pen and paper on my bedside table and will jot things down that come to mind while trying to fall asleep. One late night, my sophomore year, I wrote down grad speech, a collection of small memories. As I let that note sink into my stream of consciousness, I came to understand that how we remember high school in the future will speak volumes about how we spent our 6 years at prep. I suppose that in the future, I will remember pockets of memories and tablespoons of feelings associated with them, but by no means will I be able to remember every moment. Instead, I will remember a collection of small memories that will create a larger feeling, which I will begin to reflect on now with you all. I remember myself looking down at my fingers, making sure they were still there as I washed the syrup off of the plate from French toast in the freezing water on the cold morning of the 9th grade camping trip. Reflecting on this memory doesn't make me angry anymore. Now it makes me laugh. In contrast, remembering falling over as I yanked so hard on the rope my hands burned playing tug of war against the 7th grade boys on the first day of senior year doesn't make me laugh anymore. It makes me want to cry. Cry not out of sadness, but out of an overwhelming amount of gratitude for the time I have gotten to spend with the tight-knit community that is Santa Fe Prep. Remembering sleeping in French braids the night before the 7th grade talent show so I could have curly hair to play Miss Weston in the teacher skits the girls would put on where we'd gently make fun of our teachers, whom we loved, makes me miss being at the start of my Santa Fe Prep career as it's coming to a close even more. Freshman year marked a whole new beginning of prep, with a new quad, new classmates, and new teachers. So that means I have tons more memories to weep over with you all, but more importantly, many more small memories to celebrate. Here is a small collection of our most cherished memories as the class of 2020. Nick asking us individually how we are at the beginning of each class, Mark Reynolds having us journal alone in nature, and Miss K rapping and singing any chance she got while making us all cry and laugh and cheer in one fell swoop. And Liz telling us equally adorable and funny toddler stories about Rachel, Alex Pena being the best teacher for moments of laughter, and Miss Nice getting hyped up for Matamoscas. The first few words that pop into my mind when I think about freshman year are take-home tests. Miss Ray's infamous take-home tests. Miss Ray was absolutely adored by all, but her take-home tests were the whispers you heard in the quad in 8th grade that made you petrified about high school. And this is the moment where everyone in the class of 2020 is thinking, yep, and we were the last class that had to do them. We were the last or first class to is a common theme for our class. We were the last class to endure the great fun of shagging soccer balls at the start of our 7th grade year. The last class to have to remember what a character said in paragraph 2 on page 57 for Rob Wilder's reading quizzes. And we are the last graduating class to have Mr. Leonard as our head of school. It's an honor to have you graduate with us today, J-Lo. And finally, we are the first senior class to do our last assembly over Google Meet, continue with our dance classes and sports practices over Zoom, and to create senior internships about baking or hiking or gardening. Our ability to adapt as a class and find the brighter side of things comes from within us, comes from our families, but also comes from our experiences and time at prep. I know we have already talked about the grueling freshman year take-home tests, but the truth is those tests taught time management, which has stuck with us. Every challenging part of high school has come with a lesson, a value we have added to the collection that propels us forward. For every take-home test, we have gained confidence in knowing how to tackle a larger project. For every reading quiz, we have learned to slow down and to pay attention. Too often, we just rush through things. For every history presentation, our voices have become more clear and more effective. Yes, we have learned the quadratic equation in high school, the trophic pyramid, how to write essays in another language, and over 1,000 vocab words. But with all that knowledge, we have learned so much more. We have learned how to self-advocate. We have learned to pick ourselves back up over a disappointment or what feels like a failure. And we have learned who we are and who we want to be. Through every college search or gap year research, we are walking away from high school knowing how to write an exceptional analytical essay, but also knowing how to be the best version of ourselves. With all that being said, we have experienced a lot as a class, a lot of firsts and a lot of lasts. And today we are experiencing one more last together with you all. Our last moments as students at Santa Fe Prep, as students in high school. However, with all these lasts, there are also about to be many, many firsts. We now have the tools, advocacy, support, and the diploma to move forward in our lives, to grow in new places and new ways, whilst all remembering the friendships we made, the teachers that emailed us photos of their grandbabies, the countless burritos and churros eaten at break, the walks across Brennan Field to the meme, the hot chocolate grams delivered, the talent shows performed, the teachers hugged, and the rings of the Ellerington bell. Although we may have not gotten the lasts we deserve and worked hard for, we got so many unforgettable and beautiful firsts. 2, 4, maybe 6 first days at prep, filled with rock, paper, scissors contests on the field, the first time winning a state championship for countless sports, the first time on stage in front of a full house, the first time going to a speech and debate tournament, and our first time meeting one another. Yes, lasts are important. Last moments that are designed to conclude milestones. I will not overlook our lack of lasts as a class, but the first time achieving something, completing something, experiencing something is even more of a powerful feeling. Mike Maltari told me once that at my graduation, I will have spent 1/3 of my life at Santa Fe Prep. So, I suppose the positivity tearing its way to the front of my thoughts makes sense. After reflecting on moments from a place that has taken up so much of my life, I can't help but focus on the memories and feelings that bring a smile to my face. And not just a smile, but an entire body glow, a feeling of warmth and comfort like no other. I have always known who we are as the class of 2020. Hardworking, playful, compassionate, curious, and kind. Our reputation continues to precede us each year in each classroom with each teacher. Note that I didn't list modesty in the things we are best at. When we didn't return after spring break to finish our last quarter of high school and soak up our last few moments walking past the daffodils that bloom each spring around campus, who we were as a class and as people really shone through. To no surprise, our class has bonded together and did our best to keep our spirits high. I will not minimize the toll quarantine takes on one's mental health, but we have been there for one another. We have posted pictures of baby chicks with the caption, "I'm here to FaceTime if anyone needs a little mood boost." We have sent pictures to the entire class of the cookies we made that day or the sunrise from Sun Mountain. We have shared funny pictures of all of us from middle school and videos of Ed Helms singing a song from the Lorax, a book and movie that will now forever hold a special place in our hearts. We have shared our moments of joy and of sorrow. Our support and kindness has only grown as a class in the past few years, as have many other aspects of our lives. We have grown by confidently arguing our thoughts on immigration rather than feeling silenced. We have grown by playing piano in front of the whole school and not just in the auditorium during lunch. We have grown. Social distancing and our altered internships continued to fuel that growth by allowing us to take on mastering a headstand or perfecting a lemon meringue pie. We have grown so close, and now we are about to go our separate ways. We are being given the opportunity to grow as individuals, away from high school. I'm excited to see you all embrace the next steps and to let it grow, class of 2-0. The last memory I have to share today, a personal favorite, is Jim Leonard in front of school, accompanied by Coach Chakers some days, waving hello to us each morning. When my mom would drive me to school, we would wave to Jim as we turned into the prep parking lot. By the time I was driving myself and walking across the street towards campus from the IHM, Jim was still there, waving and asking how I was doing. It's the simple efforts like these, made by prep and made by Jim, that have made us feel exceptionally loved. Prep taught me I deserve to be seen and to be heard and to use my voice as loudly and as powerfully as I want. The first small memory I shared today brought forth our younger selves, chaotically running about, getting a scratch here and there, laughing and screaming as we hid behind the juniper as horses and wranglers. I've realized high school and wild horses are all too similar. We began our years at prep running all about, not knowing where we were headed. Now we have learned to take a breath. We have learned to stay calm in chaos. If we all started to play wild horses right now, I would assume we would end the game with dresses a little less white and shoes a little less shiny. And we would probably have some sort of something in our hair. But maybe, just maybe, we would run in a more purposeful direction, with more of a plan. Metaphor aside, as a class, we are still excellent at taking as many moments in life as we can to laugh and to smile and to play. We have all grown a lot in our time here, but I think it's more than fair to say we have not outgrown our young, playful mentalities. We are still the same wild horses out of breath from laughter and running amongst the juniper. The only thing I'm left feeling after taking the time to reflect on the small moments over our 6 years at prep together is gratitude. So thank you to the 46 people who have conquered this journey with me. For you all, I am incredibly grateful. And thank you on the class of 2020's behalf to every faculty member, staff member, coach, mother, father, grandfather, grandmother, sibling, aunt, uncle, cousin, friend, dog, cat, bird, hamster, favorite pillow, cups of coffee, chocolate cupcakes, lacrosse sticks, basketballs, point shoes, guitars, paintbrushes, everyone and everything that has made us who we are today. Thank you. I would now love to introduce the class of 2020 Valedictorian, Ryan LaRusso. Thank you.
Greetings, class of 2020. I'm sorry that we're unable to meet in person during these times. I've prepared a small selection from J.R.R. Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring. All that is gold does not glitter. Not all those who wander are lost. That which is old does not wither. Deep roots are not reached by the frost. From the ashes a flame shall be woken. A light from the shadows shall spring. Renewed shall be blade that was broken. The crownless, again, shall be king. Thank you.